Resident Evil 0 is the prequel to the original Resident Evil that has finally gotten its own HD remaster, released for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Now, I want to preface this video by saying that I am a huge Resident Evil fan. There might be a little bias towards it. It is one of the things that I have grown up with my entire life. However, Resident Evil 0 is one that I'm actually pretty unfamiliar with. I've only played through it one time in its initial release in 2002, so I thought this HD remaster was a really good opportunity to go back and see how it stacks up with the rest of the series. So let's take a look. So to spice the series up a little bit, you play as two characters in tandem. Rebecca Chambers, who you may have recognized from the original Resident Evil game, and Billy Cohen, who is an ex-Marine on the run from the law. And your job is to take this asshole down who has control over all the creatures.
Claimed this place for myself, which means you are trespassing. And I am very territorial.
Now, the story on its own, it's pretty serviceable. You have an interesting enough antagonist, and it's pretty cool to see the origin story of Umbrella Corporation. However, in the grand scheme of things, when you put it up to the rest of the Resident Evil series,
it just doesn't make sense.
This game creates a lot of inconsistencies for the lore of Resident Evil. Not to say that it's always had A+ writing, but it also develops a lot of problems now for the later games. Take this scene, for example. You have Albert Wesker and William Birkin, who are major characters of the Resident Evil franchise, used as major plot points for the prequel. While Wesker makes sense as this is a direct prequel to the first, and he is the antagonist of the first game, having Birkin here kinda came off as a bit of a shoehorn. Having him here felt more like fan service than actually serving the plot.
I will simply say goodbye to Umbrella.
But let's just talk about the game itself. With the HD remaster, we get everything that we expect from this day and age. 1080p, 60 frames a second, and honestly, it looks really good. And sound design has never been an issue in the series. Just listen to the way these bullets hit flesh. Fucking sweet. And this game does keep to its roots. You still save to a typewriter, and you go through doors, and more doors, and more doors, and more doors. Sometimes a ladder, but mostly more doors. A neat change to this game is the addition of the second playable character that you have to work with in order to solve puzzles and survive. You can use them in tandem, or separate them to cover more ground, whichever playstyle you prefer. And switching between them is as simple as a button press. They just nod their head as if to say, "No you, bro. No you." This, however, does lead to some problems. The AI in this game is pretty bad. Whatever character you don't have control of typically does the things that you don't want it to do. Like, as you saw, wasting ammo, or getting in the way of enemies and getting hit all the time. Now, while this does allow for more interesting puzzles and some really cool gameplay design, I felt like it became more of a negative than a positive. Another one of the big changes is item boxes are gone. Because of the two-party system, you can now drop items freely wherever you want and pick them back up at a later time. This may seem like it would become an inconvenience, but because the world is so well designed, it's very easy to find items you dropped hours ago, pick them back up, and be able to use them. Now, I don't know if it's because I suck, but this game is fucking hard. No, I'm pretty bad. Resident Evil has always been a very challenging series, but for some reason, this one was a lot harder than the rest. Now, having a high difficulty in games isn't necessarily a bad thing, and I think a lot of the design choices they had played into it, having an AI follow you, having no item boxes. However, some of the enemy design choices kind of made the game a little unfair. Fucking can't even hit you guys! Jesus fucking Christ! Just got out of the door! Are you fucking serious? So all in all, this is a game that I can recommend, and also a game that I cannot recommend. If you are a fan of the Resident Evil series, or this is one that you're not familiar with, I'd say go ahead and check it out. At a $20 price point, I feel like it's well worth the price of admission, even with all its flaws. But if you're not a Resident Evil fan, or don't like these types of games, This one isn't going to change your mind.
So did you execute those innocent people?
Forget about it. Doesn't matter anymore. That was then, this is now. Besides, you said you wouldn't judge me.
I'm not judging you.
Well, I'm sure glad the voice acting's still bad. So there you go. A little review of Resident Evil 0 Remaster that was released for, once again, the Xbox One, PS4, and PC. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked, hit like. If you did not like, hit dislike. It doesn't hurt my feelings too much. Check out the Metavillains on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube. We do podcasts. We do other Let's Plays. And hopefully soon we'll be having more and more content out for you guys. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. The fuck? He jumped over it!